So let's just get right to it. It's been a long time since I've kind of updated and talked with everyone, you know, kind of even streamed for a long time. I guess I wanted to do a life update with everyone just for fun, and you know, for everyone who supported me all this time. I kind of just wanted to, you know, make it open-ended, just have a small little conversation in a way, just update you guys with what I've been doing, and kind of eat too as well as my lunch and stuff for today, and a lot of other things that I've been planning to do that I haven't done. So, but anyways, if you're new here, I guess I go by Suzu or Sue, or you can call me by Kayla. Obviously, that's my real name. But anyways, most of you guys know that I started streaming like about 5 years ago during COVID time, and I haven't done a lot of streams recently. Obviously, I did, I think, a couple months ago. But I guess too that, you know, I plan on streaming from time to time too. Sometimes it feels draining. That's why I don't do it a lot more often, just because of my busy schedule now. Most of you guys know at least that I've recently graduated. Obviously last year was kind of 1 year post-grad currently right now. I guess it's nice to have a little update about it as well. But yeah, most of you know that I kind of struggled finding a job for about 6 months after I graduated, and then I got hired as an optometric technician, and I'm currently working on my clinical hours until I apply to PA school. Obviously before that, you know, I worked for the school and things like that. You guys remember. Of course, anyone has questions, I can always answer that too. But currently getting my clinical hours, working on those hours. I plan on applying to PA school in the next cycle, not this cycle obviously, because it's June, so it opened up a couple months ago obviously. So I wasn't prepared. I didn't think I was ready for my, you know, my personal statement just yet. Also my interviews, when that were to happen. So I postponed it. I won't be applying until the next cycle, so 2026, 2027 I believe. So hopefully by the year 2027 I do attend PA school. That's my hopes, of course. Of course, you guys know too that I have a small business as well, on top of all the other things. Like I said, I do want to stream as well. Other than that, that's like my career path, at least for now. Working on clinical hours and applying then. As for thinking about my small business that I just kind of put up, most of you know, it's Pink Penge Berries. It's an interesting name, obviously, but if you've been here along with me, you know that it's a combination of a lot of things I like as well. So it's pink, obviously, you guys can tell in the background and everything like that. My favorite color is pink. And I do love penguins, especially the one that my mom got me from Miniso as well. So it was a couple years ago when she got it for me, and it's a penguin. And so I don't think I had a lot of plushies back then, but that one was, I guess you could say, really near and dear to me, because she got it for me after my dad had passed. So I don't really know what my connection was with it. I just really wanted it, and my mom got it for me at Miniso. To this day, my favorite. I still have him, even though he's a little dirty. I won't show you guys it. Maybe one day, if you've been on my stream long enough too, you've seen it, or in the background as well, in the videos at least. And you know, so Penge is the name that was given to him, but also because of a good friend of mine. He's very sweet. If you've been long enough in my stream as well, you'll know Darwin. Darwin is like my little child, my gaming child from Valorant. So yeah, so he named him for me, Penge, and you know, he's been really supportive of me for a really long time. So that's why I named him Penge, and my business name is Penge as well. And if you know long enough too, I love strawberries, so berries at the end, of course. So that's why it's Pink Penge Berries. I know that was a long rant, but Pink Penge Berries is my small business, and it's a combination of a different variety of things that I've been working on. Of course, I branched out, and now you guys can tell. If you've been following long enough, you can see that as well. I have a lot of different links and social media links, of course, combined to a lot of different things. Did I make a good decision doing that? No, I didn't. However, what's done is done. It's gonna continuously be that way until, you know, I forfeit and I just delete it. So we'll see. I try to do my best to keep it updated, of course, but I'm not worried about really what's the word, kind of building an influence or content creation from it, to be honest. Of course, getting my name out there, you know, doing a small business as a side hustle, it's an investment. It's not like a, you know, I guess you could say, thing that I would pursue for a whole career. It's not something I plan on doing. I want to, but obviously with having to think about that, I'm not going to do that. At least most of you know it's K-pop photo cards that I want to create, or at least ones that I intend on selling. A lot of the photo cards I do have are really old. A lot of, I guess you can say, third gen, some second gen groups, of course. So yeah, I did have a couple sales, which I was really proud of. And then obviously crochet here and there, of course, as you can see with the yarn in the background over there and the mess that you see everywhere else. Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies as well, so that's an issue that I do have, but that's okay too. It's not a big deal. So I'm truly excited about that because I've been crocheting a lot more. Of course, I'm a beginner to a lot of things too as well, digital design and things like that. I've been creating a lot of my own stuff as well, my business cards and things like that, my own social media posts. Of course, any small business, most people who aren't getting into content creation for the first time are doing that, and you know, it's a different skill set that you have to have. Of course, with streaming, you have to talk to a lot of people too. I guess you could say I was such a big homebody back then that, and after COVID, that it was easy. Now that I'm working a full-time job, working with a lot of individuals, and you know, I have the opportunity to build a lot of different skill sets that I didn't have before, and I'm super happy, and I'm excited for my next journey. Of course, some days can be challenging, some days aren't. Of course, many days that are challenging are just when I'm super tired and there's just a lot going on at work. Usually the case, and that's why I'm not streaming. I'm not doing a lot of different things to, you know, showcase what I've been doing, but that's okay too. So yeah, so on top of making crochet projects, of course, I don't think I've ever showed a video of it, but I intend on doing it. I do also have like that little tree there. I never showed anyone. I don't even think I posted about it, but it's okay. I do things that I don't think require it. Of course, it's nice to post and do stuff like that. And like I said, I have thought about doing content creation as a side hustle, and it's a lot. You know, people are saying it's your sign to post and stuff, but at the end of the day, taking time to do it, pushing yourself to do it, is the biggest step. And I don't like doing that. I don't like having to take out my phone, do things. Half of the time my room's a mess. You can't see it obviously because I cleaned it up a little bit. It's a mess over there. It's a mess with all the trinkets and stuff that I shouldn't have, of course. But I have a lot of different ideas that I want to work on top of that. So crochet, and I've been getting into flower bouquets, floral bouquets. A lot of people I guess you can say, build a lot of inspiration from TikTok. You know, I've been on TikTok. Everyone knows. You scroll on there for hours on end, and I've done it too. So floral bouquets, a lot of creators are so talented, and watching them do that I've always actually wanted, not be like a really big florist, but work with flowers and create bouquets. I've actually always wanted to do that since I was young, and I'm just happy that I can kind of implement that with my new business in a way where I can create flowers, or I could do eternal roses like a lot of the other creators out there who have been kind of doing their small business and stuff, and their tips and tricks I've saved. And so I've posted a couple on my business, so if you guys want to check it out, you can, of course. And on top of that, like I was saying, making crochet bouquets, maybe potentially. I have a lot of different ideas, of course. Taking the time to do it is a lot, considering I've been open about it. I've talked about it before, where I just felt burnt out. It happens. It's normal for everybody. It's normal to keep being on the hustle, but when you don't take care of yourself, it ends up taking a toll on you, emotionally and physically. And it showed a lot in my friendships back then, and even my student life at the time when I was at school. So of course that's a different subject. We can talk about that another day, of course. But that's kind of leading into, okay, done with talking about my small business, talking about my side hustles. Of course, I'm still promoting it as best as I can. I'm in the Atlanta area, just like most of you guys know. So that's where my business is going to be, unless you ship it out and I make other crochet items into floral bouquets, etc., blah blah blah, whatever else, right? So Enough of that. I think that's a long rant about my business endeavors. But moving on to that and talking about, how things took a toll, why I'm not always doing a lot of things. Of course, with streaming too, going back to that, I've had a couple giveaways and redeems that people had where I still remember to this day that I know that I still do want to do, and I have finished most of them. I just haven't shipped them out. So of course, if you're still out there and you're watching me and you remember, feel free to contact me again. I will for sure send it, so just let me know, because I can't remember everyone's different requests. Of course, redeems on stream about drawings and stuff like that, so I'm still in the midst of finishing a lot of different things and wanting to do it on stream, but I've held off on it because, like I said, just a burnout. And so moving on to the next thing, if you've been here long enough too, you'll know that I did release a podcast about healing me, a lot of different aspects of that are topics that I like to talk about, some of the adversaries that I've had too along the way. And so that podcast is in a way of a reflection of how I've been growing since I've done, I guess you can say, content creation, not a lot of it, but streaming as well, and finding what fit best for me. And I've talked about it a lot of challenges I've had with life in general. Of course, a lot of things I was going at the time, and I'll be honest, it was a breakup. It was a friendship breakup on top of a romantic relationship that I was in at the time, on top of realizing that I was in self-denial with the fact that I kind of needed help, and I was depressed most of the time. I don't want to say depressed most of the time, but I think the burnout made me more in tune to have emotional outbursts, and alongside that, depressed was one of the aspects of it. And for me to cope was me sleeping half of the time. Most of the time after work or after school, I would sleep nonstop, and I would finish my work and be done, and take care of my dogs and stuff like that. But I lost a lot of parts of me, doing my crafts, streaming. I didn't do a lot. Did I have bad coping mechanisms of showing my emotions online on stream? Yeah, I did. I don't regret it, because we're all human. I don't make any judgments, and I'm the type to be overly emotional and sensitive and cry very easily too. So it's no judgment from here if anyone ever wants to talk to me about something, of course. But for myself, I in the past, I used to regret it. I used to be like, oh, I should have never done that. And then I learned to be like, what, at the end of the day, I'm human. And of course, nobody needs to know what's going on with my life. If you don't care, you don't care. It could be turned into a reality TV show, I guess, from people watching whatever it is. But that's okay too. But anyways, that podcast is mainly built on my healing process. A lot of it's gonna be a lot of advice I got from a lot of people that have supported me, and my friends and my family who actually are there for me, not the ones that I kind of built a friendship around or romantic relationship around that hurt me in a way that I never thought that I would learn certain things. But at the end of the day, I think I needed it as well. Of course, I'm gonna keep it short because I'll talk about it more in my podcast and where that leads to, of course. So yeah, it's a long list. There's 2 episodes currently. It's been a couple months since I've been working on it, but I have a long list of all the episodes actually. And so on top of that, I've been thinking about what else that I want to do to elevate and grow through my healing process. And of course, I did say this is eating time, but I'm not gonna eat because I talk too much. That's something I learned too. But with that being said, I have an addition to my podcast, something new that I've kind of thought about working on was, this is also an influence, a good influence actually, that I built the topic on from other creators who talk about healing and talking about what to do in the process of bettering yourself. And so one of the kind of subtopics, I guess you could say, there's a word I like to use, but I forgot what it was. It's being unrecognizable, and that's kind of just an idea. Of course, that's not exactly the name I want to use for that subtopic for my podcast, but for now, that's what I'm going to have it. And that's just kind of me talking about me building my confidence back again, doing the things that I wanted to do, building back all of my hobbies and things that I kind of threw away after losing myself in that kind of situation I was in the past. And so building confidence and being true to myself and having self-love was the hardest thing I've, kind of still have with now. And so I'm still building that, and something I kind of want to bring everyone on the journey. So that's why I'm putting it in my podcast of Healing Me. On top of that, I feel like I need to rant sometimes, and those rants are going to be random rants. Honestly, it's not going to be pertain to attacking anyone. It's not. I'm not trying to say that at all whatsoever. For that one, for the second subtopic that I want to add to my podcast, random rants will be about how sometimes I'm overly sensitive and I overthink, that it makes me upset, and I didn't have to think that way. So it's kind of outlet in a way to talk about my thoughts, a reflection about it, of course, and to release a different way of speaking to somebody else if I wasn't able to. So it's a different value, it's a different way of me to heal in a way. And so those are the two things that I'll be adding to my podcast. I have a lot of ideas. There was a situation that I remember clear as day that happened recently, and it was nobody attacking me. It wasn't me being upset with anybody or them being upset with me. It was me being upset with the situation that I was in, not directed towards anyone, by the way. And so it's something I do want to talk about for fun, because I realized how impatient I could be. But yes, that was a really long rant for a life update. But yes, that's what I've been doing. I didn't eat, but that's okay. But yes, long update, long awaited one for the longest time. I'm so happy to obviously be back in tune with myself and a lot of things that I intend on doing. I appreciate you guys always being here with me in spirit and in thoughts, and supporting me from afar, no matter where you are. It truly warms my heart, and I truly appreciate it, as always. And so I think that's it. Of course, I think I talked enough, because I like to talk. Now that I realize that I do like to talk a lot. So anyways, I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time, hopefully in the next video, in my TikTok, etc., live stream, all of the above. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys lots. Bye.